Okay, hello everyone. My name is Dr. Stephen Peacock. I'm the program tutor for the MA Global Film and Television Online. Could I just ask you to type that if you can hear me so that I know I'm coming through loud and clear on the microphone? Great. Okay, thank you. Okay, so I'm, as I say, the tutor for this MA, which is completely online. And I'm also head of media here at the University of Hertfordshire, and I'm also a reader in film and television aesthetics. A reader means professor for most countries. It also means that I write books on film and television studies. And I'm very excited to be able to talk to you today about this master's course, Global Film and Television Online. It is a 2-year part-time course and offers a range of different critical and theoretical approaches. The thinking behind the course and the reason why it is completely online is that we want to bring together students from all around the world to be able to discuss online their thoughts and feelings and experiences of different kinds of films and television programs, both from the past and from the contemporary periods and from all different countries. We figured that the best way of doing this was to offer an entirely online course, as it would allow for that kind of complete interaction around the world. Alongside that, then, we have world interaction through the way that you can communicate with each other and the tutors, but also a world basis in terms of the films and television shows that we choose to study on the course together, because they will come from outside of Hollywood, in many different film movements and periods of production from around the world. Also, we wanted to promote the approach of close analysis. Close textual analysis of films and television is often mainly achieved through looking at American works, American dramas and American films. And there will be a fair amount of American films and dramas on the course, but we wanted to allow you to study in that way, looking closely at moments of film and television from around the world. So I'm going to show a few slides to talk you through the program, and there'll be an opportunity at the end of the presentation for any of your questions. On the first slide there, you'll see my name and my email address. And if any questions come to you after this presentation, then please do feel free to email me at any time, and I'll make sure I respond to you as fully as possible. Okay. So we'll talk a little bit about the structure of the course and the fact that I'm sitting in the offices of University of Hertfordshire Online, and I'll explain what that means as well. Talk a little bit about how we study online together, what's required in terms of entry to the program and fees, and as I say, there'll be an opportunity at the end for questions, and there you've got my email address again. The course, as I say, is structured across 2 years, and you study part-time. And there are 7 modules that you would study across the 2 years. And I'll talk a little bit more about each of the modules in a moment. The modules are split down into credits, and you receive a certain amount of credits per module in terms of the assignments that you undertake. And we make full use of working online in this respect by making sure that we don't just offer the traditional route of written pieces like essays and close critical analysis, but that we also engage you in activities that are particularly suited to online delivery, like the creation of blogs and wikis, live tutorials, but also quizzes, recorded Skype lectures and videos. I said I'm sitting in the office of UH Online. This is a special branch of the university that is devoted to online studies. And it's very exciting that we're able to offer this through a team which is bespoke to online studies for the university. We have all the latest technology in order to be able to achieve this. And if you've had any dealings with the team, you'll know that they are extremely good at what they do. We've also a good history of working with online programs at the university. The MA in Global Film and Television is not the only online course that we offer. There are also courses in business and in law. And how long has UH Online been running? Do we know?
It's 3 years, I think, but computer science about 10.
Okay, so computer science has been running online for about 12 years. So we have plenty of experience in terms of delivering this kind of material. We look at each application on a case-by-case basis. The UK requirement for entry is at least a 2-2 in an undergraduate degree. Of course, we will be receiving applications from around the world, so we will look at matters of equivalency, as I say, based on individual cases. The fees are broken down in terms of a certain amount of money per module, per credits. And the UK amount is £500 per 15 credits. And you need 120 credits to the master's program across the 2 years, which comes to the equivalency of £6,000 for the course. This can be paid in installments, and you can pay as you achieve the different modules and credits, if that helps. The fact that the course is entirely online and part-time is also good because it allows you to continue with your usual working responsibilities in the day and or social commitments, and you are fully able to fit the workload in around your existing commitments and activities. As I've already mentioned, one of the factors that excites me about the course is the idea of being able to make global connections as a result of working online and in terms of global film and television. It is an exciting initiative to be able to talk at one and the same time to students from around the world, to allow links to be made across different institutions and parts of the globe, and to encourage that kind of open conversation, critical conversation about different films and television programs in different countries. Every student, every person brings with them their own understanding and experience, cultural experience, to their understanding of a film or a television series. And that kind of experience articulated in classes online is extremely valuable in illuminating our understanding of the films and TV series as a group. So we share information together in that way and build up a global critical community. As I've said, you can fit the workload in around your other commitments. One of the other positive factors of a completely online program is that you can study anywhere as long as you have the necessary technology around you. I'll talk in a moment about the different online platforms and learning systems that we have in place at the university to facilitate the delivery of the content of the course. At heart, though, are the fundamental matters of criticism and theory. Those are the two building blocks by which any film and television studies course is offered, and this is certainly true of the global film and television course here. Because it's online does not mean that we don't have the same amount of academic and intellectual weight behind all of the content that we deliver. We're also very proud of the innovative way in which we can encourage and deliver through e-learning. And all of the tutors that you will have contact with on the program teach at the university in the fields of film and television studies. They will all be committed researchers who produce their own publications on their specialist areas of interest in film and television studies, lots of which informs the content of the program online. We're also committed to offering a full range of student support, as committed as we would be in terms of face-to-face delivery of the material. You will have meetings, online meetings with your personal tutor at the beginning and end of each semester. You will have regular contact with your tutors and your other students. There will be a range of learning tools and assessment types, as I said, ranging from creation of blogs and wikis to essays, video footage, and interviews and recorded presentations. UH Online has a full and experienced team of people to offer technical support as well, just to make sure that everything behind the scenes runs smoothly in terms of online delivery. Okay, the University of Hertfordshire's main online learning platform is called StudyNet, and UH Online and the units that we offer material for online programs through sits alongside StudyNet. So once you receive your place on the program, you will receive access to StudyNet and to the learning platforms through which you will gain access to all of your different units for the different modules. On the screen at the moment, you have an example of a page for teaching resources. At the top of the screen, under the words teaching resources, you have arrows which show each individual activity required for that particular module at that time. It also has dates to suggest indicatively when that work should be attempted. And it shows you a narrative of moving through the module from learning and your readings and your interactive activities right the way through to submitting your assignment. Underneath the arrows, you have a welcome message and links to the induction materials, ebooks, support, and an overview of the module. As you move through the program, each of the modules will be broken down, as I say, into units and into sessions. And each of the sessions will offer a different kind of learning activity. On the screen at the moment, you would be able to see a recorded discussion between two of our tutors on the question of media and its effects. They could also be live lectures, extracts of video footage, PowerPoint slides, reading materials, or quizzes. An example here of a quiz. So the final exercise for this example module, which is called Research Methods, allows you to test your understanding of all the topics that you've approached so far on the module at the end of the module with a quiz. And again, reference to the readings, which are all available for you online through our online library. Here you have links to, again, the different key texts for reading with recommendations for further reading, and always a connection to a greater discussion forum that you and the tutors will be able to have for each of the modules. Before we get to the questions, I want to just give you a little bit more information on the different modules that are offered. As I said, there are 7 modules, and they are called Style and Meaning in Film and Television, Research Methods 1, Research Methods 2, Global Screen Violence, Philosophy in Film and Television, Screen Curation, and the Dissertation. The foundation module is Style and Meaning in Film and Television, by which you will receive teaching about the building blocks of a critical vocabulary, which you can then use to discuss, analyze, and explore in detail moments of film and television from texts from around the world in terms of their stylistic elements and the meanings of those stylistic elements on screen. The research methods modules, research methods 1 and 2, give you foundation knowledge of the different theoretical and critical approaches by which film and television studies operates. Global Screen Violence and Philosophy in Film and Television, as the titles suggest, give you a more in-depth look at particular approaches within the fields of film and television studies, violence and philosophy. Violence and philosophy are also specialist interests of our current staff here at the university, and the tutors who specialize in those areas will be leading those modules for this coming year. Screen Curation looks at the contextual and industrial sides of film and television in terms of film festivals, programming film festivals, archiving film and television footage, and you will have connections with real-world scenarios such as the British Film Institute and their library, and also the London Film Festival. And the final module on the course is the dissertation, which allows you to write in length about any subject around film and television studies that you would like, in connection with a tutor who will specialize in that area as well. That then gives you a brief overview of this MA in Global Film and Television Online. Thank you very much for listening. I'd like to open now for any questions that you might have. If you could type the questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. Okay, I have a question here. Can you tell me if the tuition is the same for overseas, non-UK, non-EU students? If the question is referring to tuition fees, then the answer is yes. The tuition fees are the same for both home and international students. If the question refers to the content of the teaching in terms of tuition, then the answer is also yes, that everybody receives the same information in the same ways. Just waiting for another question to be typed. Okay, the question says, could you discuss the dissertation a bit more? I'm interested in going for a PhD. How much flexibility are students provided to design their own thesis for a dissertation? The students are provided with a great deal of flexibility in terms of designing their own thesis. It certainly is student-led. We don't suggest or ask for you to choose a topic which relates to a specific area of film or television. It's entirely up to you. And the idea is that by the time you reach the dissertation at the end of the 2 years, you will have received a good understanding of the range of ways in which we can approach film and TV, and that you would be willing and ready to specialize in one of those areas. So it really is a question of your own interests and passions. If you have a particular drive to talk about a certain director or type of movie or genre of television drama, then that's absolutely fine. We'd give you all the support you need to do that. If you are interested in going for a PhD, then I'd certainly suggest that the MA would be pretty much essential to do first in order to give you that fundamental grounding at postgraduate level in terms of the topics and the discipline. If you made that known to the tutors when you were doing the program, the MA program, then we'd also be able to give you plenty of information as the course goes along as to how you would best approach and apply for a PhD. And many people who do PhDs in the fields of film and television studies would often use their master's dissertation as a training ground to experiment on ideas on a smaller basis that they might put into practice for the longer piece of work for the PhD. Just waiting for another question. The question reads, would it behoove me to come into the program with a thesis question that I've been researching informally outside of a program for the past few years, or are students encouraged to formulate a thesis to research once they are in the program? Well, it's certainly encouraging that you've already been researching thesis questions in the area, so that stands you in great stead for the program. Equally though, yes, by all means, make it known to the tutors that you have a particular specialist interest, but at the same time, have an open mind in terms of maybe discovering along the way that you actually want to write about something else once you get more information on that subject. When I went to do my PhD, I was certain that I wanted to write about Stanley Kubrick and adaptations of novels by Stanley Kubrick. In the end, I wrote about something entirely different for my PhD. So there's always room for change or fluency in terms of the topics, but that's very encouraging that you're already thinking that far ahead. Some more questions on the way. I have a question. Can a thesis be interdisciplinary? My research focuses on public intellectualism and film, so I would probably want to draw from cultural studies, intellectual history, philosophy, including specifically film studies. The answer is yes, absolutely the thesis can be interdisciplinary. The tutors that are currently teaching on the MA program, one has a specialism in film philosophy, and one comes from the field of cultural studies. So you would be well suited to the particular tutors that we have at the moment on the course. Another question, can online students participate in on-site activities related to film if they find themselves visiting England? On-site at Hertfordshire, I mean. We would have to look at that on a case-by-case basis, as there is not currently a face-to-face MA in film and television running at the University of Hertfordshire, just the online studies. However, if the question behind the question is related to a discussion with tutors and discussions about potential dissertations, then absolutely I'm sure that the tutors would be able to accommodate meetings with MA students, and they probably like to meet you anyway. So the answer is yes, in terms of one-to-one tutorial meetings. Another question, would tutors be available for advice regarding research for publication? I'm interested in publishing in journals, presenting at conferences, etc. Well, again, this is very encouraging. Absolutely, all of the tutors involved on the program have research published and are actively engaged in publishing in journals and presenting at conferences. So yes, for all of the time that you have with the tutors on the online program, they'd be able to offer advice. So yeah. That's great. We're probably drawing to a close now, so what I would suggest is that if anyone has any other questions to ask, either use my email address that you saw earlier, or use the address that you see on the screen now, which is the same address for applications. Ask uhonline@hearts.ac.uk. So thank you very much for listening, and I look forward to welcoming you on the program. Thank you very much.